round with Illinois. Just where are you hoping to see improvement from? It's been a couple months. Where you hoping, where you expecting to see your guys be a little better?
Yeah, I think we're better, holistically on both ends of the floor. But obviously a really good team, a lot of talent, obviously a terrific point guard and a really good five. And then the other pieces around them are, when they're playing well, they're really, really good. So I think both ends, I think we've grown. So it's going to be a challenge for us and a good measuring stick to see where we have come from early December.
Kind of going off Mark's question, I was going to ask, it has been a full about 2 months. Obviously, you guys are on a good streak right now. Where have you seen, especially defensively, kind of some of that growth and cohesiveness since then?
Yeah, I think we're better connected in terms of when you have to exchange specifically ball screens, stay with shooters a little bit better. Hopefully we're better in terms of, ability to put pressure on the ball and keep the ball in front of us. We're going to be really challenged on the glass. They're really good, #1 offensive rebounding team in our league, so that will be a huge challenge. But like I said, I'm just excited to see what steps. I know I know we've gotten a lot better, but obviously here's I guess we played Iowa twice, but it's somebody that got us the first round, and what can we do better to take away the things that they did really well the first time. And offensive rebounding for them was something they emphasized, and they were really good at it that night.
One of the big things with John Blackwell earlier was foul trouble early in the games and kind of having the ball stick. I know that you're still working with him with foul trouble. Has the ball moved better with him running it than it maybe had a couple months ago?
Yeah, I think we definitely have gotten better with that, Ben. I think we're playing a little faster in transitions. That gets it moving right out of the gate. We're not. We don't want the ball walked up. We want it pushed in transition, make or miss. It doesn't matter, and that emphasizes and promotes ball movement. So it's important, And when we do find ourselves a little sluggish or it sticks, then we've got to address it. And that's usually it comes when it's fatigue sets in. So that's when we go to the bench and get some fresh bodies in there and get the ball moving again.
You guys have to shoot a pretty solid percentage when the shot clock gets under 10 seconds. I guess there were a few instances on Saturday, make the extra pass, reel it in the shot clock. I guess what's that indicative of? Just you guys being able to kind of make plays?
Yeah, I mean that's just it, make plays. There was nothing really called. Those guys, when we hit the back doors, that was just them playing within the framework of the system, and I think the confidence of playing with each other, understanding when somebody's pressured and you're hugged, you can back cut, with the spacing we have on the floor, with how we shoot it, the floor gets opened up, and those opportunities. You always talk about shot clock scenarios that the offense sometimes panics. Well, the defense sometimes does too when the clock gets low and tightens up and really gets individually man-oriented in terms of taking care of, I've got my guy, and that's when you can get some back cuts and put some pressure on the rim. And we made 2 or 3 really good plays there late that were big and converting late in the shot clock, and that's important. I think it just shows the growth of this team and the connect. They couldn't make that play in October or November because they weren't accustomed, I think, to playing together as comfortable as they are right now.
Getting a feel for that, is that something you could put a significant amount of time to practice into, or is that just really?
It's kind of organic. Yeah, it's kind of organic. We drill some back cut stuff and fighting pressure, but really it comes down to just making basketball plays, right? You can't script everything, and you don't want the hardest offenses to guard are the ones that aren't scripted, that really organically just play within the flow of the game, and those were obviously really good basketball plays.
I feel like Wisconsin has been under everybody's radar for a while, and I've become ranked 11th in the country. How do you keep these guys grounded?
They know, they know there's a lot of basketball in front of us. They know I never said anything when we weren't ranked. I never said anything when we got ranked. I never said anything when we fell out of the rankings. That's outside opinion. All we can do is control, the results on the floor. And they know we've got a long ways to go yet. We got to continue to get better. It's great that it's great for our fans and our alums and obviously getting a lot of national attention right now. But in terms of the work that we have to put in every day, that doesn't change. And they know well enough. We've got veterans on this team. They understand, what has gotten us to this point. And you got to continue to do what we've done and continue to get better at it. And then obviously having a team come in that, is a really good team that got us in December, and that's really what we're focused on right now is tomorrow night.
Hey, Coach, kind of on the message of ball movement, we saw, especially in the Purdue game and really throughout the year, a lot of those corner threes, kind of open corner three looks that are kind of going down. How do you guys maybe get in the rhythm to where those looks are becoming commonplace for this offense and such a high efficient shot?
Well, it's the shortest three, number one, in terms of distance. I think a lot of those at times come within as the game wears on, and there's a accumulation effect or a fatigue effect that it gets applied to the defense as we play with pace and keep the ball moving. And I think it's it's spacing, it's cutting, it's the how we move the ball, and it's the unselfishness of the guys too. I mean, they know. Plus, they're really comfortable with where everybody is. They know when they drive from the wing. If they get a baseline rip, there's a guy in the corner and there's a guy on the slot. They know where we're at on the weak side and understanding those things. And if they drive middle, they know there's likely a guy filling behind them. And the receivers have done a good job of moving to get in the sight line of the offensive player, the guy with the ball. So it's a combination. It's not really one thing per se, but I think just the experience and comfort that they have with each other and knowing where at least we're supposed to be. You're not always there, but by and large we're in the right place at the right time, and they're doing a good job of moving the ball.
A year ago, you guys were kind of in a different situation when it came to February. It seems like right now you're peaking at the right time. What kind of goes into that? And kind of similar to Jocko's question, how do you keep that throughout the rest of this month going into the tournament?
Stay healthy and stay fresh. I mean, that's what we were hurt. We had Blackwell was out, McGee missed, quite a bunch of time, and even though maybe statistically that those two guys didn't jump off the page, it got us off the tracks. We stayed on for a little bit, and that's huge for any team. You look at any team across the country. Illinois has gone through some injuries and some illnesses, and our back now, Marez Johnson, and we find out today breaks his wrist, but that's such a huge key for any team. You have to stay, and you can't, there's injuries happen, but if, knock on wood, man, if you can avoid them or avoid serious ones, it's so important to really string a long run and a really, really good season together. And if they happen, you have to have other guys step up. We kind of had an injury on Saturday with Kamari getting disqualified, so here's Janicki stepping up and making plays and doing a terrific job in that role. But hopefully we can continue to stay healthy, and then it's the timing of practice, and the week off last week was good for us to kind of catch our breath, so to speak. And obviously we're in mid-February now, so there's going to be no more 2-hour marathon practices. We're shortening this up and minimizing the wear and tear as much as we can.
Did Kamari say much at halftime?
No, he was pretty emotional. He's pretty emotional. He took it really hard. He really has invested a lot in this team and loves his teammates. So he felt that he had let everybody down, and that was not the message we gave him as we left. I was the last one to leave the locker room, and gave me a big hug. I said, Cam, we got you. We're going to go get this for you. So, he was very emotional after the game too, which was awesome to watch. I think you've seen some pictures and stuff, that interaction. He was in there, wore his jersey, put all his clothes on his jersey over the top the whole second half, and I don't know if he watched it on his phone or something. They couldn't get the TVs working at halftime for him to watch the game, but he was pretty happy when we all came back in.